I'm of the era where you would go to a conference and shake a lot of hands and hand out a lot of cards. It's not that that's gone, but there's another dimension to it now that didn't exist before. And when you, with younger people starting their career, they're going to get in there and they're going to maximize, they're going to double, quadruple their potential value of their personal network and the professional network. And I think, when you sew all those people together, you have this incredibly much more tight, much more robust, much more productive network, other than people that just you want to bombard them with your marketing. You'll have actual meaningful professional relationships that people are going to really lean on each other in a way that they can't on LinkedIn. My name is Kevin Lynch. I am Director of Content Marketing at Cloudinary. If you want to put a 3D model of a product on your site, we are the software on the back end that creates that. If you want to see a sweater in multiple colors or in our piece of furniture in a different setting, we with our transformation technology and AI, that's how we make all that stuff happen. Own all of the external facing copy and content, and in addition, am the brand steward, the voice and tone for the company. Right now, we're about 250 employees. We have offices in Santa Clara, California, London, England, Madrid, Spain, Singapore, and Tel Aviv, Israel. We've had, some organic contact from major medical device companies. And it's to get to the point where we were confident that we were going to get the right person on the phone or hit them up with an email took a lot of time, because we just had to trace bits of evidence with which to go find this person. I think with the Swarm, we can begin to make a better picture of who it is that we need to contact in an organization much faster and much more efficiently. And in so doing, also uncover a lot of other areas where there may be more connections and synergies that we haven't even begun to think of. The formation of a diverse network is as much a result of luck as it is maintaining relationships. So I've been lucky enough in my career to have bounced, for lack of a better word, from one industry or vertical to another. So at one point I was involved in sports marketing at a PR agency. So therein lies the birth of the connection to women's tennis, to auto racing, roller hockey, events like that. After that, I worked as a writer in the food and wine space. So made a lot of connections at some of the better wineries around the world, made decent connections at some of the better distilleries in the world. With that came the burgeoning relationship with organizations, with media companies that published I would publish articles in their magazines about those particular products. And then I also spun into tech for a while, working at Microsoft on their online store. So made a lot of connections in the gaming space, in the IT space. Worked with designers and artists that worked on Xbox and then on Grand Theft Auto and Plants vs. Zombies, all of these different things. So short answer to that is just all of these things kind of got quilted together. And at the end of the day, you have this amazingly diverse, colorful network. And that's the birth of it, more or less. And then it takes a little bit of being proactive in order to keep those pieces of the quilt together. And then at times, the other side of it is noticing that there's a connection over here that needs something that's PR related. And then I recognize the fact that all my old pals in PR are looking for something that this person has, and then just making the connections and then stepping away. But being sort of bird's eye view over your own network, and then making the connections, physically oftentimes, or, having an occasion where that you can put these two people in the same room, is basically how that all kind of comes together and is maintained over time. In the writing game, there are people who know an editor or a publisher somewhere, and they won't share that information. They'll keep that to themselves because they feel that the competition's too great, and they've built the relationship, it's theirs. Fair enough, knock yourself out. But I'm of the mindset that if I have an internal connection that can make a much shorter path from A to B, absolutely, I want to connect you. With the caveat that, like most people, I want it to reflect well on me too. If this person's a big talker and not a good writer, I'm going to be reluctant to recommend them to an editor. But typically, it's worth it just to take the chance, because the phone rings on both ends, and numerous times I've made connections, and at the most unexpected moments, sometimes in the 11th hour, at the craziest time that I could really have used a leg up or a hand, the phone rings and there's somebody on the other end who has an offer of some kind. You write me a story. I need you to go over here and do this kind of work, that kind of thing. And it's been a lifesaver in some instances. So it's much better to always be open door policy and share whatever sort of connections you have, because you just never know what's going to come back your way, and 99% of the time it's positive.